All right, Hare Krishna, welcome to Sweetcheese. I'm your host, Kavi Kanapur. With us today, all the way from Brazil, Krishna-Nandana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, my name is Krishna-Nandana, as Kavi has just said. I'm 19 years old and I come from Brazil, as he's also said.
So how are you finding London?
It has been a great experience, I must say. It is a very busy city, nothing compared to what I have lived, any place I have lived before. But overall, the weather is wonderful and no, the weather's not nice.
Funny.
The weather's not nice.
Where else did you live?
I have lived in Brazil. I was living in Brazil for the beginning of my life, for 12 years. And then in 2011, my mom went to India, and then she decided that we must move to India because she liked the place so much. There's a spiritual city there called Mayapur. Which is full of devotees from all over, and we moved over there when I was 12. So I've lived in India for 7 years, and now I'm just traveling around. I was in Kenya for 3 months, and I'll be here for 3 months. I've just come.
Wow. Yeah, so you obviously Gopal Krishna, Krishna Gopal.
Yes, Gopal Krishna and I have a very deep friendship, and he's from Uruguay. Right, so it's like neighboring country. Yeah. So we're very good friends. We have studied together in the Gurukula, and he's also doing this traveling program. At the moment, he's in Italy, and we keep in touch through social media.
Right, but he glorified your cooking. Can you give us like the ins and outs, or what's inside a typical like Bengali kitchen at the Gurukula? Do you have electricity?
We have minimum use of electricity. Right. Sometimes we have to cook at night, so then we have a little light to help us with the cooking, obviously, so we can see what's happening. But mostly we don't have, blenders. We don't have anything which is like major in a normal kitchen where we would be there. We don't have it in the school. We have more manual and traditional.
Do you have like wood burning stoves?
Yes, we don't use gas. We use cow dung patties.
Serious?
Yes.
You have to make them yourself?
Yeah. No, we buy them because
Okay.
we use a lot, right? Every day there's because we cook for 70 people and we make many different preparations. So then we have to...
So here then in the cooking also, that's very simple. We use dried cow dung patties. According to Ayurveda, then what medium of fire you use to cook, then that creates different amounts of life energy in the food.
So what would be like a traditional kind of breakfast that you'd make to the devotees there?
Our basic diet is milk right in the morning, because it's described that milk is very good for nourishing the brain, right? So then we try to feed the children milk, and along with some cereal we have puffed rice, usually with the milk, and some fruits. So the breakfast is a bit simple. Right, but the main course is like the milk.
Just boil as normal. When it comes to a boil, then it is taken off. The milk is boiled 3 times because that is in the villages then to ensure that there's no tuberculosis in the milk, because cows are susceptible to tuberculosis.
Yeah, then we have our lunch is around 1:30, right, and we have a traditional Bengali lunch that it's based on Ayurvedic principles, right? So then we can keep a healthy body. And we start off with a bitter preparation, right? There's usually we use some bitter melon, or we eat something which is bitter. And we go on to we eat dal, right? And curry and this sort of things. And also sweet every day without fail, right? Because if you don't have sweet, the children are not gonna be very satisfied.
What are the pan? Do you use pans? If so, what they're made? Are they made out of clay or?
No, we use copper because it's very good for conducting. How do you say? Conducting. Very good for conducting heat, right? But it also at the same time, once you take it off the fire, the temperature drops quite quick, right? So then it decreases the risk of getting burnt, right? The children getting burnt for safety reasons, and also because it heats up very fast and evenly.
Okay.
When you have stainless steel pots, they tend to at least
They heat the center and
they
everything.
hit the center and everything and burns. It's difficult to cook, and it takes really long time to get up to the top, right?
Right.
But the copper in the other side is very good for.
Also, is there something in the mineral? There's some mineral in the copper as well, because they keep the water in the copper pots as well.
Correct. It's believed that copper. I'm not gonna speculate in the sense of what I have been told, right? I haven't done a research, so I can't say in a scientific way, but it's believed and has been told to us that copper helps clean the water, right? So if there are some impurities as such, they have, because in the contact with the copper, then the impurities go down to the bottom, and it becomes more suitable for drinking.
Excellent.
The Vedic concept is what the culture may be very elevated, but the lifestyle itself may be simple.
We store our rice over here.
Nice.
Yes, we have a field that we grow different crops in it. We grow rice, we don't grow dal right now, but we grow a lot of vegetables, mangoes. We I can say that we are 75% self-sustained by the field. And here is where we keep our rice. So I don't know the technical word, but after 3 years or something, then you can after it gets older, you can cook it better. You understand?
Old rice.
All right. So you spent 5 years in Gurukula, yeah?
Correct.
And your average day, you'd get up at about
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yes.
And you'd be doing the oh man, yeah, Timmy.
Yeah,
What's all that about?
So basically we try to praise the Lord through different mantras, right? Mantra is, we all know the definition of mantra, which is?
Oh, to free the mind.
Yes, so mantra is, the definition of mantra is to free the mind, alright? So then we learn these many mantras in order for us to become closer to the Supreme and also become more loving people and more, kind towards others. And yeah, it's like a meditation that we do, So in the morning when we wake up at 2 a.m. we take a cold bath, because it is actually scientifically proven that it's much better than taking a warm bath, right? And we get ready, and then we have some sort of meditation by chanting mantras.
Okay.
We cook ourselves, and the other boys, meanwhile they're cooking, they washing clothes and they're cleaning the school again. So we clean the school 4 times a day.
4 times.
4 times a day, basically.
श्री भ्रमर घाट पे श्री पानी घाट पे
For example, put a warm cauldron in one stove, and then we up to here more or less, and we put one cauldron with camphor in it, 2 pieces of camphor, we light on fire, you put it there on top, and then you put cauldron on top again. Understand? But in such a way that it won't turn off the thing, but you'll burn it. So then as soon as you see smoke coming out, you get a fence, you fan it a lot. Then you turn on into coals and it gradually becomes fire.
श्री भ्रमर घाट पे श्री पानी घाट पे चामुंडा देवी
Minimum. If you do it nicely, then 3 minutes.
वृंदावन का कण कण बोले श्री राधा राधा श्री राधे.
After the 5 years, then you're expected to you have to another part of the program is traveling and preaching, yeah?
Correct.
And that's how you ended up here.
Yes.
So you were before here, you were in Africa.
Yes. Was in Africa, I stayed there for 3 months, and I was engaged in some preaching to the locals. Right, I went to different schools, and I had the opportunity to distribute prashadam food for those who are in need in Africa. They very much like those people from, not necessarily white skin, but just people that are not from there, right? And they have come to Africa. They find it very amusing.
Yeah.
And for the fact that I was wearing devotee attire, I was wearing wooden sandals, then it was a very good preaching.
Novelty.
Yeah. So many people, it was very easy actually to approach people and talk to them. And African people are very friendly. They're very open-minded. They're very wonderful people. They have a very good culture there. And they greet you in the streets, they make eye contact. So it was a very wonderful experience overall.
Right. It must have been, strange. You're a Brazilian dressed up like an Indian in Africa.
Correct.
Oh, we have a hero here in England, and I think it's something that was a Mahavishnu Swami project that I was involved in called Little Gokul, and it was a band of like these devotional rappers,
Yeah, from Little Gokul.
Where people are cool.
Cool, there's no fools. Let's go to temple, like I said to my friend. Let's go to temple, lunchtime, dinner time. Let's go to temple, anytime, every time. Let's go to temple, and I'm shouting in the street. Let's go to temple, like I said to my friend. Let's go to temple, lunchtime, dinner time. Let's go to temple, anytime, every time. Let's go to temple, and I'm shouting in the street.
You remember how we used to sleep out on the African street, smoking weed, sniffing glue on the African street, eating from a trash can on the African street. But now we got the victory from the African street. This is how we used to be on the African street, gambling, scrambling on the African street. The cops chasing after us on the African street. But now we got a new life on the African street.
My name is Elio Mondi. I'm from South Nyanza, and I decided to run away because my parents died. So there is nobody to look after me. So I decided to come in street. I was surviving with my friends. We used to inject our body with some drugs. We used to sniff glue. We used to smoke and doing something very bad. Then one day I met another woman, known as in Kisumu, Krishna mine. Then he tell me, I have another center in Dunga. I can take you like my child, and I teach you there. You get everything there. You learn very nice. Then he teach me how to perform devotional service. So now I'm a devotee, Hare Krishna. Thank him very much, because now my life is very nice. I'm happy with my life.
Do you remember how we used to sleep out on the African street, smoking weed, sniffing glue on the African street, eating from a trash can?
Unfortunately, I came by Little Gokul, the boy in the video, and and he's not in a very good situation because of he was in a Gurukul, and unfortunately the Gurukul shut down. Right, so he ended up going back to the streets and indulging in activities which are not so nice. So I came to realize that actually, we have a big responsibility in our hands, right? If we neglect people, then they might go back to their bad habits, So I think that was the main issue with that boy.
So like in Mayapur, do they have like a mentor system?
We have a mentor. He's the dean of the school. 2 mentors actually. They're the deans of the school, and we take the instruction. We keep in touch with them, and we take instructions from them.
The main type of fellowship that you got was from the other Gurukulas, right? That was where the strength was in the group.
Yes, correct. But what brought us all together, right? It's natural for teenagers to try to compete with each other and to have pity fights about small things. But what really brought us together, I completely have to thank our teachers, because without them we wouldn't be able to, of course, become so close together as we are now.
In that sense, what was lacking from, say, that the homeless shelter in Africa was that, like leaders, like qualified, like leaders.
Yeah, I think it's just a question of neglect, a question of not putting enough care into that case, and because there is no care, naturally there's no association, right? Because care is shown through association. So our Shastra explains, if you don't have association, then naturally you won't be able to progress, right? You won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to meditate and become a better person, and you just get back to associating with your mind.
Well, you also need an external example of something.
Correct.
Okay, I'm supposed to be like that, or I want to be like that.
Correct.
I remember when I first joined, then I saw the devotees. I thought, okay, that would be a good thing to be like,
Yeah, just like when we have your children, we look up to our parents, right? We see them and we see them as the example. So if we have parents which are very good, which are very exemplary, then naturally we take their qualities, right? So if we don't have as such, then unfortunately, of course you still have your nature, right? Naturally you have a certain inclination, but that affects you a lot. So as you said, a mentor to be there is very important. So you have someone to aspire to be like, right?
So, right, being a Brazilian in Bengal.
Yes.
Right. So, what's the best thing to do? Did you actually just say, well, okay, I'm not Brazilian anymore, I'm spirit soul, or were you like, okay, well, I'm gonna try and give up my Brazilian, I'm gonna try and become like Bengali, in nature, I'm gonna try and learn the language and become, or did you think, well, no, I'm Brazilian, I'm gonna stay Brazilian, I'm gonna take what I can from here and kind of pick and choose? So how did it go? Is it a good thing to give up nationalism, or do you think it's a good thing to keep nationalism?
I don't think it's good to do both. I think it is a question of if you give up, for example, you said giving up your nationality from being Brazilian and becoming Bengali, you're just doing the same thing, but just in the other page, like in another country. So my belief is that we have to overall give up the idea of being part of a country, creating borders and limiting ourselves from associating with people from other cultures. I think it's very important for us to learn from others. Anybody, doesn't matter where he comes from, right? Because there's so much diversity in the world, and I think what we lack is that we create borders, right? I'm from Brazil, right? Therefore, I hate Argentinians, right? But we can learn so much from Argentinians, like
ice cream.
We can learn how to do tango, and
golfeados.
Exactly, and they can learn how to play football from us,
Ooh. Hope there's no Argentinians watching.
I'm just joking. No, but what I'm trying to say is that we have to give up that idea that we're from a certain place. Of course, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to do so. Well, what we try to do in school, and because of the teachers and then the mentors and somebody we can look for, they always keep us in check, right? So there was a time there was a Ukrainian war between Russia and Ukraine. Not really a war, but there was some conflict between two countries. And naturally, when the kids go home, the parents talk about it. Oh, this is happening, So when the kids were coming to school, they were creating like a little, oh, I'm from Russia, therefore I'm better than you. Oh, no, I'm from Ukraine. They're just 8-9-year-old kids, but they still have that inside of them because it's also portrayed in society at all, because of television, social media, But immediately when the teachers found out about this, it was immediately cut off. We had a whole, how do you call it?
Sangha?
We had a whole sangha. We had a whole, how do you say it?
Assembly?
We had a whole assembly.
Reunion?
We had a whole assembly speaking about that we have to treat everybody equally. Doesn't matter where he comes from, right? And once we can do this, we can love everybody. We can, reciprocate and can have affection for others. Otherwise, I always think that I'm from Brazil, therefore I'm not gonna like people from Argentina. Or I come to India, therefore because Brazil is a bit more developed economically, then I'm gonna treat my Indian peers in a lower way.
How does that work though? Like, there was one person who said about equality. the biggest injustice you can do to equality is to try and make two things that are not equal. So if you have the sense, well, everybody's equal, but how is that defined? Because we're not. I mean, there's people have different abilities, and some people, you know, naturally affluent. Other people, you know, the kind of more, you know, more of a common man and so forth. So
no, I understand necessarily, but the whole point is that we have to learn how to respect at all circumstances. We may be today we might be better than somebody else, right? But we should not put ourselves thinking that we're in a higher position, but actually respect anybody and everybody. If you lack respect, then of course we're going to treat others badly. So when I'm talking about equality in the sense of respect,
you know, the moment like somebody knows or they think they know, the hand closes. You know, and now the only thing you can do with a closed hand is attack, you know, like, you know, smack people and so forth. The hand is open, then it can receive. You know, you listen and you receive. Hand should always be open. People should always be open for new experiences and, you know, new points of view. Even though we may not agree, but there has to be respect there, like you're saying. That's a good point.
And also, like what I'm noticing, the good thing that I'm traveling and getting to see different cultures is that I lived in India for 7 years, and I've seen people who live a very simple life. You know, they live with very minimal, like change compared to what people have over here. You know. But they're satisfied. They're happy. But why is that so? Why over here that people have thousands and thousands of pounds and they're still suffering so much?
Alright, so what's next on your agenda?
Yeah, the plan will be here for 2 months, 2 more months. And then I'm gonna go to Brazil. And I'm not going to my house. I'm not gonna go for a holiday as such. I'm also gonna be staying in a temple, at an ashram. And yeah, be preaching and practicing. I wanted to, because I left Brazil when I was 12 and I wasn't so much exposed to because you know, when you become a bit older, you can see things clear, and like I was a bit aloof from what exactly Brazilian culture is. So I like to see in that perspective and I'll spend there 4 months.
Right, well, I wish you best of luck in your endeavours and your preaching activities around the world. It's been a
Thank you.
Pleasure having you on the show.
The pleasure is mine.
Krishna-Nandana.
I'm very happy.
And yeah, we've got you here for another 2 weeks, so you might see him again. Thank you very much. We're out for today, so Hare Krishna. Garanga.
Let's go to temple. When I can say to my friend, let's go to temple. Lunchtime, dinner time, let's go to temple. Anytime, every time, let's go to temple. And the shopping in the street, let's go to temple.
Shri Yamuna ji ki lehre bole Shri Radha